Hi everyone, this is a highly requested video about how I organize my calendar. I have about 6 different streams of income and things that I'm working on, so it can get very busy. And the question is, how do you stay organized, on top of everything, and prioritize properly? And that's what I want to show you today with my calendar. I use At a Glance. I find it really helpful for 15-minute increments. And it also has a quick notes section over here where I'm able to take all my notes for whatever I need day to day. Now I'm using a random date so that it can kind of go for whenever, but I'm going to give you an example of what my week looked like this week. So when you're organizing your calendar, I sit down on Sunday or Sunday night and I take about 20 minutes and I take a look at what I have coming in the week. I call this studying my calendar. And I break it up into 4 different sections as I showed you here. I use different colors. I use purple for styling and anything that has to do with our business, Runway Unlimited. I do green for anything Isogenics or our brand partners. I do pink for anything that's modeling, model masterclass, model mentoring. And I use orange for anything that's for me personally. So we're going to break this down into 3 different sections. Number 1 is non-negotiables. This is things like your job. This is things like making lunch and dropping off your kids at school and picking them up at school. Non-negotiables are, if you're not there, then things go astray. You need to be there and you need to make sure that this time is set aside for this specifically. Number 2 is your personal priorities. You'll notice that I cannot spell and you're gonna have to forgive me for that. This is things that you're working on. So maybe, for example, if you have a job outside of your work, you have calls you want to take, or you have workouts that you want to put in. You know, if you're prioritizing your exercise, you want to make sure that you have space for those. Any passions that you want to make space for. This is priorities, okay? So these are things that you have to get done this week. If they get moved around a little bit, it's a little bit flexible, but it's still a priority for you. And the third one we're going to look at is seeing what time is left. So you have space for more. Okay, space for more. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So non-negotiables, priorities, and what space you have for more. And my goal here is to show you that you actually have a lot of time in your calendar. The number one thing I hear is I don't have time for that. And I never, ever want to hear that ever again. I want to make sure that you know you have time to do anything that you want. Okay, so let's get to it. We are going to start with non-negotiables, okay? So for me, the non-negotiables, I work at CTV. Okay, so I work at CTV 3, sometimes 4 days a week. So as I said, I'm going to give you an example of what my calendar looked like this week. Okay, so at CTV, I'm there from about 9 to 3. Okay, and I'm using my purple because that's for styling and anything that's Runway Unlimited related. Okay, so 9 to 3 Monday, 9 to 3 on Wednesday. This week I had a segment in the morning, so that was about 8:30 to 11:30, and then 9 to about like 2 on Fridays. That's usually when I'm there until, okay? So this for me is CTV. This was a CTV segment. And this is CTV. Now this past week, I also modeled in the CTV segment. So what I'm gonna do for this one, since I was working at double time, is I'm gonna put the pink right beside it to show that I was working double whammy. Pink for me is anything that's modeling, okay? So I was also modeling this at the same time, so I keep track of what I was doing when. Okay, so these are non-negotiables. Something else that is a non-negotiable this week is my dad's in town. So he's in town on Wednesday night. So I'm going to make sure that from 5:30 on, I block out my calendar for my dad being in town. Dad in town, and we're probably going to go to dinner. Okay. So this time is now blocked out of my calendar. I'm prioritizing making sure that I spend time with my family. Now, something else that's a priority for me this week is I have an appointment on Wednesday. So it's at 3:30 to 4:15. I have an appointment, okay? Appointment on Wednesday. I know that I have that. And something that I have that's a non-negotiable every single Monday is a team call, a work call at 5 p.m. on Mondays. We have a team call with our brand partners. And for me, that's a non-negotiable. I make that every week. So team call, okay? So this is the non-negotiables in my life right now. This past week, I have to be at work. I have to be at my appointment. I want to spend time with my dad, and I have to be on my team call, okay? That's round number 1. Round number 2 is your priorities, okay? So things that you need to make sure you're prioritizing. So this is anything like your calls, any workouts, any passions that you want to make sure you have in there, okay? I'm taking a look at the time I have left, right? I have all of Tuesday available right now, Thursday afternoon, Friday afternoon, Saturday, Sunday is all open, okay? So on Tuesday mornings, I like to take Tuesday mornings and make that a content period, right? Because I'm prioritizing building my brand on social media. So I want to make sure that I'm putting content time available here. So I like to do that from about 10 to 12. I take that time to do content, okay? Content, film. All right. And then on 2:30 on Tuesdays, 2:30 every second Tuesday, I have a check-in call with one of my fitness clients. And I'm gonna put that here. You can have fun with this. You can do whatever you want. So this is check-in, right? So that's a fitness client of mine that I check in with every 2 weeks. I give her a call. We talk about how she's doing with her fitness, what she needs to improve, and then I make her workouts and all that kind of stuff. Now, other things we have going on are brand partner calls, okay? So this week I had a brand partner call at 3:30. I had a brand partner call. I also had a back office walkthrough at 4:15. Okay, now you can see that I'm giving myself some buffer room between all of my appointments, all of the things that I'm scheduling. I'm giving myself buffer time. For example, this appointment, I'm giving myself time to drive to my appointment so that I make it on time. I'm giving myself time to drive home so that I make it on time to see my dad. I'm giving myself buffer time between calls so that I have time to prep for the next call, right? You never want to be chasing and falling behind. You want to make sure that you're giving yourself buffer time to really bring your best to whatever it is you're doing. So this was a brand partner call. Brand partner. This was a back office walkthrough. Okay, back office walkthrough. Now we're moving over to Thursday, okay? So I had lots of time on Tuesday. I have some time on Thursday. I have a model mentor call at 3 o'clock, and that's usually about 15 minutes. I have another model mentor call around 5:30, okay? And I have another brand partner call at 4:15. Okay, so you're seeing I'm giving myself buffer time in case any of the calls run a little long or I need to prep for the upcoming call. Okay, so this is model mentor. This is model mentor. And this was a potential brand partner presentation or call. Okay. So I'm spreading out my time. So that's my priorities. Okay, that's number 2. So I have all my non-negotiables and now I have my priorities. All right. Now you can see I didn't put any workouts in here because at this moment I'm walking a lot. So getting my workouts in isn't my number 1 priority, but I am going to look and see what I have space for more, right? So this is what my calendar is looking like right now. But you can see in the mornings, in the evenings, in some of the block times, I have time for more. And this is where you can fill it in with anything that you want, whether it's a passion, whether it's a hobby, whether you want to read, whether you want to do your workouts, you actually have so much more time than you think you do. And this is what I wanted to show you. Like, this looks like a full week, right? I've got CTV and then calls and all of these things, but you actually, if you're managing your time well and properly and consciously, then you have time for so much more than you think you do, okay? So what I'm gonna do here is, especially Tuesday, I've got lots of time here. I'm gonna leave myself some space here for lunch, and maybe I wanna go for a walk or take a little bit of time between my content, because content usually tires me out, so I'm managing my energy at the same time. So I'm looking at my content, I'm gonna give myself time for lunch, give myself time for a little walk, okay? So before my check-in, I'm gonna go for a walk so that I can kind of recharge and prepare for my following calls in the afternoon. In this morning, I like to also do a workout in the mornings before my content to get it done. I'm a morning workout person, so get it done. I'm gonna do that at like 8:45 to 9:15. I'm gonna do a workout, okay? Put that in there, workout. I'm also looking at my Thursday, right? So I've got my CTV segment. I'm probably gonna get home around like 12:30. So maybe I have some lunch, and around maybe 1:30, I'll put a workout in there. Okay, let's put a workout here. Make sure I'm getting that in, work out. And then I'm gonna give myself time to prepare for my evening calls, all right? Now, I like to leave Friday afternoons open because sometimes there's like a dinner, or sometimes we go to the cottage, or this can change from week to week. So I like to leave my Friday afternoons open. If I need to take a call, I absolutely can take it in this time frame, right? So I know that this is open time for any work that I want to finish before the weekend, before the week is over, okay? And if I'm taking a look at this, I know I'm prioritizing getting some reading in. I want to make sure that I'm getting lots of books in this year. So let's say I'm going to read for 45 minutes Tuesday afternoon. Read. Right? So now you're really kind of spreading out your day, and you're able to see the balance of everything. Okay, how much time am I spending on work versus personal time, right? Orange is personal time. So how much time am I spending on work versus personal? How much time am I spending on my priorities versus other people's agendas, right? And nowhere here have I put time to do anything else anybody has asked me to do. I prioritize my work and my calendar before anybody else's calendar. And that's something that's really important. You want to make sure you're keeping track of your work before someone asks you to do something and you go off and do it and miss all the things that you wanted to do in the first place, okay? So this is a great layout of what my week looks like from week to week. You can see in here, I've got this is week to week. These are all the different things that I do week to week, okay? So this week was very heavy in work, right? It was very work dominant, and I had all my other calls in between. And then I use this space over here to keep track of any to-dos that I have to do. So this is how I lay out my calendar. Again, you've got your different color, you've got your different sections, you've got your non-negotiables, your priorities, and your space for more. And you guys, I hope this has been helpful for you today to really help you prioritize your time and manage your time.